What do you mean my headset's not on? Is it dead? My headset? Okay, no. It's not dead. It was just being stupid. Cool. Okay. I'll do this at least like 1 or 2 more times, and then I'll do I'll do it 1 or 2 more times. Check Antagony. And then I'm also gonna hit record. Whoa, that's loud. Okay. I knew I was gonna fail that. Had a feeling. Nah, as soon as I hit start stream, I was higher than 50%, now I'm no longer 50%. That... How did that not make it? Interesting. Okay, I see why that one didn't make it. I don't see why that one didn't make it. Okay. There we go. Come on. Oh, interesting. So I've gotten way more consistent at that. Yet, there we go. Good. I'm surprised that didn't actually work. I've been getting really consistent at nailing AoE skip, which is good. I'm pretty sure I know the reason why that didn't work too. There's a good chance that the only thing I really need to care about is this. There we go. Yo, Master Stick, thanks for the good luck. I'm too far to the left, that's why. Once I'm done practicing this, I can... I'll go do Hub 4 and then I'll do runs. There's not much point in doing, Ugh. That's on the recent records. Thank you, appreciated. Little Barbie red, silent. Yo, Colty, thanks for the good luck. Okay, there we go. I'm getting better at this, but it's still not good enough, I think. Yet. There we go. Okay. Now I am a lot more, this should work. It did not work. Interesting. Now I'm having a streak of failing this, and that kind of sucks. Because I did I did that particular body slam like 7 times in a row until I hit start stream. But yeah, what's going on, Colty? Man! Oh, come on. I'm surprised I got that. Slide jump. Slide jump. Here we go. I'm close to the edge. But that's... I am now surprised. I'm surprised that I'm not getting this now. And it's kind of concerning because this is the one thing that I really need to make sure I get while I'm, before I start doing runs. Because none of this matters. Like, nothing matters before this split. This split is the most important split. Because this basically decides whether I can finish the run or not. Привет. Привет, Peter. I can't do a second slide jump. Okay. And that worked. Okay. That... Okay, I know why I failed that. I wasn't holding the stick. Cocula. Cocula, Peter. Peter. I'm saying it like I'm fucking... Like I'm fucking saying it in Spanish. I still don't really know how to say much outside of hi, how are you? Pойдет. Как и тебе? Нормально. Or is it? That's CB. How did I fail that? You can't spell right now? Understandable. Tibia. Yeah, I understood that as tibia. You don't know what your fingers are doing? Were doing? Dancing. I practiced this for like 30 minutes before I started stream. Guten Tag. He gets... I don't speak German, but Pete does. Maybe if I do this, I think I need the camera to be more... Yeah, by the way, Pete, look how fast my my AoE skip is now. Okay. Damn it. Look how fast that is, dude. I don't think I can make that any faster. Because that basically does slide jumps at every opportunity that I possibly can outside of things that are probably just not worth going for. It's gonna... I think it's gonna pump out an extra, like, 10... Or not 10 seconds, but I think it's gonna pump out an extra, like, 4 or 5. Yeah. I was on such a good streak forgetting that part, but... And the problem is that, like, every pause is 0.8 seconds, so... Basically, I mean, if I do 4 pauses, it's only, like, you know, 3 seconds, and that's not that bad. If I get anything less than that, like, I'm basically, like, I'm zooming. I think, though, if I... if I go at this current pace... Damn it. Wait, you didn't follow Pete? Uh-oh. That's a sin in this chat. Actually, that's not true. For being 90% of your introduction to speedrunning, that is... I mean, that is how a lot of people got into Crash speedrunning. Was through Pete. I think Pete was the reason how I, like... I think Pete was the reason why I kind of got into Twinsanity. For speedrunning. Smarkin was definitely the reason why I actually started. But I think Pete was my introduction to it. It was either Pete or Beta, I can't remember. Okay. The jump does matter. Alright, cool. Come on. Damn it. Okay. So, if I space out the jump enough, it should be fine. I'm almost done labbing AoE skip. Because if I get this... Probably you, not Beta. He didn't really have many viewers for a good while. Yeah. It was most likely you. You and Pool, I think. Because, I mean, everybody knows that Pool was the fucking GOAT back in the day. For Twinsanity? Yes, he was. Why was I tagged? Oh, I think I know why. Huh. Let me guess. Oh. I was wrong. Okay. Slightly older account. I have had my Twitch account since 2012. I've been streaming since 2013, actually. Ah, damn it. I have been doing most of this stuff since before people even knew what any of this was. Twinsanity is kind of broken, this is true. I wish I could start runs, but it's not a smart idea to start runs just yet. Not until I know I can do this skip with maybe not certainty, but like knowing that I can pull it off without having to worry too much. Yeah, I might not go for that slide jump. That slide jump is scary. That's like the only slide jump I'm like, I don't know about. The body slam to get out of bounds for rooftop is annoying because I'm trying to make sure that I don't need to reset up the camera, because if I could just see out the gate, it's super easy for me to set up the long jump. And see, I'm getting a lot better at that body slam too. That could have been bad. It was not. Yeah. Yeah, because, like, if I can see what I'm doing, I can easily do this. And then do 2 slide jumps here. Boom. Okay. I think I'm good enough now? Okay. Let's do, how is this stuff found? That is a loaded question, my guy. Generally, accidents plus curiosity. When it comes to speedrunning, accidents plus curiosity is like the biggest thing. I'm surprised I got that, but that was kind of dumb. A lot of the stuff with any percent no dimension skip, I don't actually know how it was found because I wasn't around when the stuff was found. This particular warp skip setup, I could tell you how it was found. I was messing with twin jumps. And then, like, I was tired of failing this, skip. So I decided to, optimize it and make it better. And then for that skip, I was messing around with hug skip, and I learned about how you can buffer inputs in between cutscenes, and I was basically able to create a method that would allow me to get into that cutscene trigger very easily. It also makes that particular strat easy. You don't know why the portal is there? The portal is there for backtracking. Portal is specifically for backtracking, or going from Ant Agony to to the lab, or the other way around. Going back to Ant Agony without having to do the rest of the hub. A lot of the skips exploit that. Like, Nut Skip exploits a backtrack from Cavern to Jungle Bungle. Can you technically get back to Insanity Island from Iceberg Lab? You have a boat. Every single hub has backtracking. You have access to pretty much every single level except for Cavern and Rooftop. Holy zoinks, we aren't skipping any dimensions, true. Couldn't backtrack that far? Of course you can. How else would you get 100%?
This is where we wrong the rights and sweep the past under the rug.
It's just that most people don't explore. Most people don't explore the game. But Twinsanity... Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. I got the skip. So the camera went all funky. Yo, Saucy. Holy zoinks indeed. Yikes. Holy shit, he was out for blood. Brody actually almost fucking sniped me with the bomb. To get them in one go. Nope. You can backtrack to every single level. You were so scared to jump into it for a good while after that. Oh, the game crashed? Oh yeah, there is a crash that can happen. That portal is really finicky. The only thing that sucks is that if you die in Antagony, the game crashes, but... Just don't die, forehead. Says the guy who almost died. Yo, Zoki. Good afternoon. Always looking out for that, buddy. He's usually in a bad spot. That's, like, probably the worst part of, classic Antagony. Am I going live? Could I please inform you via Discord? Too lazy to do that. Does he usually crash if you die? Yes, but the reason is because you grab Cortex. Are you supposed to know when to come? Twitch notifications? Too lazy to write up a Discord notification and my Discord is basically dead. Oh no, the thing about Cortex is that you like you grab Cortex. Damn it. So, since you have Cortex, if you die, game crashes. Damn. Yo, Brando. How is it going? Well, I got done with my Russian final yesterday. Or yesterday. I got done with my Russian final today. Why did I load here? Fuck it, I'll do it again. I had like a 10-hour yapping session after stream. Which is pretty on brand for me. With whom? With a friend. You guys don't know him. Was on stream? No. I have, friends. How to not be bad at game, play. Play a lot. Eat your vegetables. Yeah, by the way, I tried the new, the Wendy's had a new burger, so I tried the burger today. It was a jalapeno ranch burger. I'm like, ooh, I like jalapeno ranch. How to make vegetables not taste bad? Get better taste buds. And then it was like, it was just jalapenos and ranch dressing on a burger. I'm like, dude. I was expecting the actual ranch dressing that had jalapenos in it. It did not. It was just jalapenos with fucking ranch dressing. I'm like, dude, this kind of sucks balls. I was like, damn, paid $6.69 for this shit. Nah. It was my reward for finishing my Russian final. Sacrifice. What was that? That was just the stonks. Thanks for the stonks, Brando. Yeah, by the end of the week, I'm gonna solidify the whole subathon stuff.
Victor and Moritz's stronghold of evil. This is where we
Oh,
wrong
shit.
the rights and sweep the past under the
I mostly have the ideas, but I'm still kind of figuring stuff out. Wendy says good ideas, bad execution overall. The Nugget Ranch combo? No. No. Listen, okay? The Nuggets plus chili combo. You dip the nuggets in the chili. That is the strat. Otherwise, I would have made you hungry again. Wendy's chili is ruined because of Wings of Redemption. Don't listen to that fucker. Why would you listen to stupidity? Just have the chili. Just chili. Or make your own chili. Yo, Juan. I am going to have to practice Santagony today, I guess. Do be chili? Yes. I mean, chili is one of my favorite foods. He just had it on stream and gets memed because of it. No Wendy's, you have no idea what we're talking about? Look up Wendy's. How's it going? I'm hungry again. I had my Russian final exam today. And Wendy's in the UK, not bad. Wendy's is pretty good. It's Wendy's is my favorite fast food restaurant. So, I mean, plus we have like a phenomenal Wendy's by my house, and I fucking love those guys. They actually gave us some a free Frosty by accident. I'm not doing Cortex Antagony, dude. Better than Taco Bell? Depends. Like, overall, I prefer Wendy's over Taco Bell, but here's the thing. Taco Bell has the grilled cheese burrito. And the grilled cheese burrito is one of my favorite fucking fast food things of all time. fucking love the grilled cheese burrito. Baconator's really good. Fries are disappointing. I mean, listen, it's French fries. Spicy nuggets. Yeah, the spicy nuggets are like the best. Apparently they added a new flavor to the spicy chicken sandwich, but I'm pretty sure just the fucking chicken sandwich. I remember the Ghost Pepper Ranch. Ghost Pepper Ranch, now that was good. Tomorrow is Cinco de Mayo, so I'm probably gonna ask my mom for Taco Bell. I'm not gonna get the tacos, though. The strat with Taco Bell is don't get their beef. So many options, true. Chick-fil-A's, it's okay. The new 3-layer crunch wrap, it's so good. Listen, the 3-layer fucking crunch wrap is just a crunch wrap, dude. That's all it is. Like, I was like, ooh, 3-layer crunch wrap, and then I'm like, oh, it's just a fucking crunch wrap, just with more wrap. I was like, dude. I have to wait. That puts me behind in the cycle. I hate that. That's also kind of true. Chick-fil-A's waffle fries suck. And waffle fries are like my favorite type of fries. Okay, this is how I used to do it. So I'll do this. There we go. In Venezuela, yeah. Nah. There we go. That's how you get it done. Okay. Time for runs. Am I? Yeah, I'm local recording. Okay. Oops. But yeah, Taco Bell, grilled cheese burrito, the chili cheese burrito. I do love good Taco Bell, but Wendy's is my favorite. BK Whopper, McDonald's fries. You could probably do that. Well, okay. I mean, there's like combination ones. Time to world record again. I mean, nothing is guaranteed until I finish a run. But like Once I get to 24-3x, I'm no longer running this category. As good as the Frosty? I'm impartial to the Frosty. Chicken 3-cheese flatbread. Never had it. But the strat... Oh yeah, by the way. So here's the strat when it comes to Taco Bell. In your city, kind of curious to try, but you can't put much effort to go. Fair. Time to nut. Yes. So, the strat with Taco Bell is avoid their beef. And the reason why is because they feed oats to their cows. So, essentially when you have too much of their beef, it's a diuretic. So all those, like, memes of people saying, like, they go to Taco Bell and then they have to, like, destroy a toilet. That is the reason. That is the entire reason. It's because you're eating oats. You're eating beef that is, well, not really contaminated, but contaminated with oats. So it's a diuretic. Which makes a lot of sense why I've never had issues with Taco Bell, despite the fact that I have a sensitive stomach. Because I hate their soft tacos. I also do not like hard shell tacos. So usually, when I go to Taco Bell, at least classically, I used to always get the Crunchwrap Supreme. Now I get the, grilled cheese burrito, which has... I usually get it with chicken. Yep, that's why. That is the whole reason why the meme exists in the first place. I asked somebody who used to be a manager at Taco Bell, and he just said, oh yeah, I had to ask, why? And he's like, because we feed oats to the cows. That is the only reason. I mean, of course, it's also, like, there's also the thing where it's, like, food regulations, too, but it's usually not. It depends on the area, too. So it's probably, like, in some areas they don't feed the cows oats, and in some areas they do. I'm starting with a 123 boat. How about in other countries? What do they feed their cows? I don't know. Oats are a filler. That is also a possibility why some people have issues with beef. There's no way I'm doing mountain skip first try. I'm doing mountain skip first try. No fucking way. Okay. Cool. By the way, because I don't know if people know my, like, actual practice routine stuff. I do not practice early game. So, everything I'm doing right now is first time of the day. Yo, Carrie, you wanna do this category? Then learn it. One, two, okay. And that's why I'm the GOAT? I guess so, I don't know. Yo, GG, what's up? Please. I've always been pretty, practice averse. I'm behind on the cycle, and that sucks. I make it all look too easy, I do. How tight are those skips? Mountain skip is super fucking tight. I jumped too early. Love the split names. You having fun watching this? Nice. Yeah. Yeah, this, the thing is that, like, I rely a lot more on my trick execution than I do my practice to do a lot of the skips. I do not like to practice. I hate practicing. What's my favorite Yakuza? I haven't played all of them yet. I've only played 0 and 1. I do have, 1 through 7, though. I just haven't had the time to play through them because they're long games. I would say that I really liked 1. Why is my capture card flashing? What do you mean flashing? Do you mean, like, dropping frames? Or do you mean, like, actually flashing? That's not happening for anybody else, is it? Dropping frames, yes, that happens. It's likely some kind of software issue with my graphics card. It's like flashing white. That's weird. Fuck. I don't see anything. Like when I rebooted the Xbox. Odd as hell. Why don't you just reset the stream? ¿Una vez insultar en chileno? No, porque no sé exactamente. Aparte de weón. No sé ni una mierda de chileno. Conchitumare, conchisumare. Algo así. Crash, boom, bang, when, no, die. However, if you guys must know... con escuchar decir eso. Joder. However, when I do the subathon, Bash will be one of... Bash 200% will be on there. However, it will be a very annoying sub goal because I really don't want to fucking do it. But if some idiot wants to give like 200 fucking subs or whatever, sure. It will literally be a ridiculous amount. I'm thinking of doing a subathon, yeah. But Bash 200% will be on there as a sub goal for the subathon. Yo, thanks for the good luck. And if some poor soul wants to give me like $200, $200 redues, I will do Bash 200%. I don't know if it's 200 though. I might make it more because I think that might still be too low. Crash Bash is actually fun. It's actually fun. Is that a good idea? No. I mean, for subs, it's like, I think it's like $500 to $600. Be doing the notification for Discord? No. Don't add it. Don't add it, everybody, please. Buena superior, gracias por la suerte. My Discord is currently dead. I don't think people really check it. The subathon might be announced there. What would Crash Boom Bang be? Shit, if you give me $1 million. You do? Nice. Why am I continuing this? Updated drivers. Surely it's not gonna destroy your PC. Please announce shit. We'll see if I get an active Discord again. I'm not gonna put effort into it if it doesn't make sense to do so. I just kind of like to boot stream. And that is that. I mean, if I got $1 million or something like that, sure, I would do Boom Bang. I'd probably do a lot. For $1 million, I'd do a lot, yeah. Because screen flashing, I don't... But yeah, I think like 200 subs is probably a little too low for, I think 200 subs is a little too low for Bash 200%, but I'm still not sure. Like, I don't even know if I'll even get like 20 or 30. Anything would be nice. But I still have to have more ideas. It's like, it's a little more difficult to, like, figure that shit out for, as a speedrunner. How did I miss that? Also, you don't have to sub. Like, it's not... Like, the thing is that, the only thing that would probably go for it is, like, upping a timer. And I am definitely not, like, doing a contiguous subathon. I am not capable of doing that. It would have to be done in days. It was just that I would have to basically, like, time everything. So that way, like, I still stream for, like, a decent amount of time. But the problem is that, considering chronic illness, it would be a very bad idea for me to do a continuous stream. It would be a terrible idea, because if I did that, I would basically, like, sure, first day would be fine, but after, like, several days of, like, 16-hour streams, plus, like, keeping it on while I'm sleeping, I really don't see that being good, because probably by day 3, I would be way too tired to do anything. And yeah, people don't have to, like, you know, give money or anything. Giving money, the only thing, like, that giving money might help with is, me figuring out getting emotes, I think. But the idea would be get some finances in order, and kind of, like, keep myself on track for the summer to tie me over. And then whatever I don't need, I will pour into the stream. Which probably won't be that much, to be honest. I should have failed mountain skip there, but I didn't. Like, one of them is probably, like, I'm gonna work on getting things set up to do face cam, actually. I've had the idea in the background, so I might start just doing face cam. So you guys get to actually see my face every day. Not that that's gonna be... I'm not a very expressive person, but... the only reason why I haven't really worked on that is... the reason why is not because I'm shy about showing my face. That has actually never really been the case, because anybody that has known me for a long time, and I mean a long time, I used to do face cam streams. It's just that I didn't really, for a long time, I didn't have the capability of doing so. Like setting up face cam. Right now, I have the ability. This category is no cursed warp. No cursed warp, no dimension skip. You're not allowed to do either of those skips. Hey, fuck you. Right now, the only thing is since I live in an unfinished basement, it's not very visually appealing. So, it's not very visually appealing, so, like, I don't want to, show people the stuff. Past slip slide, any new categories I would make? Wouldn't make any categories. This is not a category that is new. This category is old. Doing engine skip on this category viable? No. You need zombie. Even if you had zombie, wouldn't work because of even if you had zombie, it wouldn't work because of because you need to beat Brio. You have 3 cats and 3 dogs. Crazy. Says the guy who used to live with, like, fuck me. Says the guy who used to live with 4 dogs. We're down to 2 now. Cheese we put down around my birthday this year, so it's been about 2 months. Mac we put down, I think, in 11. Breeds. Cheese was a rat terrier. Mac was a pit bull mastiff. Athena is a hang on, I need to concentrate for a second. Whoa, hang on. Abdo with the raid. Glitchless would be super boring. Athena is a Burmese Mountain Dog Rottweiler mix, and Bexley is a Black Lab. She's a purebred Black Lab, too. But yes, you would be correct. Glitchless would be incredibly boring as a category. Pretty strong dog? She's not super strong. She's supposed to be stronger. She's supposed to be bigger, too. Yo, Abdo, thanks for the raid. And yo, Raiders. You guys are just in time to see some interesting cooking. We're doing any % no dimension skip, which basically means we don't do dimension skip and we don't do curse splash. Glitchless is like having rice with no flavor, adding ingredients. It doesn't matter. It depends on the game. Rayman 3 any percent glitchless is kind of cool. But, like, for example, Twinsanity glitchless, first of all, is really hard to define because of things like slide glitch, specifically for twins. Yeah, specifically for twins, terrible. Very terrible. Oh, a pretty dog. Well, she's nice. When she's not being a bitch. She's extremely, she's very forward. And I am her personal butt scratcher. And basically her dad, because I was the one who raised her. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whereas, with Bexley, I am her favorite human. Athena's favorite is my dad. But Bexley, like, the first day I saw her, which she was taken, because my dad is a retired military veteran. My dad got her for free, and she wasn't, like, my parents got her when I was in Japan, so, there's that, but for some reason, she attached to me very quickly, and, like, she just fucking loves me. Usually I'll give her a hug and then she'll bury her head in my chest. What is the biggest challenge in this category? Biggest challenge is getting past Hub 3. You need a dog? Dogs are very, very difficult to take care of. They're very needy. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're also extremely social. If you are not a social person, do not get a dog. Like, dogs do not care for personal space most of the time. They are exceptionally needy. So if you are a person who is perfectly fine with, like, if you're a person who's perfectly fine with your personal space being violated all the time, if you really are perfectly fine with just always being there, yo, Tia. Even though you were just here. This is a very bad Hub 2, by the way. This is very, very bad. I lost, like, a second and a half. Don't get a medium or large dog unless you have the space for it. Yes. You also have to double-check the... breed. Yo, Dio. Because each breed has its own thing. Each breed has its own, like, needs and everything. There are some dogs that are more antisocial than others, but generally dogs are very social. If you don't do well with that... Yo, Royale Peach. Always bother you how some speedrunners consider some things glitches and others don't? Because it is difficult to define what a glitch is. That is also true. This is a pretty slow run, actually. Almost 5 seconds ahead. Now is Classroom and Boiler Room Doom skip. It's just AoE skip. AoE skip is an amalgamation of several different skips. There we go. Okay. Okay. Damn it. Okay. Run's dead. The problem with Hub 3 is that everything needs to go correctly. Why the pauses? So the pause buffering allows me to essentially not... It's like a frame advance, because it'll... Basically what's going on is I'm holding, down on the D-pad while also holding B to body slam, so I get the lowest amount of speed possible for a body slam, and essentially I'm clipping Crash into the door frame. Because it is very difficult to do classic AoE skip on on SSD, because my loads are too fast, the arena just deloads, and essentially, like, it is under frame perfect. As in, like, it is more precise than a single frame. It's still possible, but it is, like, incredibly difficult, and not worth it, even if it's faster. Whoa, flowers. Flowers coming in at the perfect time, too. Big raid trust. Huge raid. I almost failed that, by the way. Yo, Xenochrome, thanks for the good luck. It's not the size that matters, it's how you use it. I'll read that in a second. I can't read it right now. What? I don't know how the fuck I did that. What is the timing? I don't remember. Have any other communication with the devs after the legendary call? Maybe. I love turtles, nope. Don't know what that is. I think you raided me as soon as I was doing AoE skip. I need to wait. Okay. Why? Came from the devs video, I'm insane. Appreciate you. You were playing a Resident Evil game? Makes sense. Everybody is basically just in time to see resets. Actually helped. We're so back. Let's go. There we go. Interesting. Sharing the same brain cell. That's crazy. Coincidence? You think not? Imagine. You went imagine? Imagine. This is pretty fast. Where is bro going? Where is bro going? I've never seen that before. Side is easier. Right side. If you're talking about Tikimon skip, Totem skip, the easiest one is the, why did I jump there? The easiest one is go all the way to the right and then use the hay barrel. Oh, come on. I slipped off. Yo, thanks for the watch streak. Mountain skip is tough. Thanks for the good luck. Like, honestly, once you get used to it, mountain skip isn't, like, super bad, but it's still hard. Like, I mean, if you're doing it slowly, mountain skip's not that bad. The faster you go, the harder it is. I have no idea how I figured out that nut skip, to be honest. That, I should not have... I'm just gonna stop questioning it, dude. Talking about streaks? Don't streak, that's illegal. Keep your clothes on. Yeah, that's a reset. I just play the game so well. Listen, listen, if that's what gets you up, that's crazy. All right? Keep your fucking clothes on. Leave the stripping for the after. I don't know what the fuck that means, to be honest. I need to, like, fucking close my mouth, because my mouth can take me places that I should never go to. That is also an innuendo. My mouth does run a lot faster than my brain does. That is why I am excellent with marathon commentary, actually. I mean, it's that, and also, like, I know a lot of just, like, knowledge and history of stuff, so, like, when... Outside of Mummies, which I wasn't exactly able to do that much commentary just because of language barrier, even though I'm mostly fluent in Spanish. I promise you the next time I do a marathon for Twinsanity, you're probably gonna learn a lot of things that you didn't know about before, because I bring up a lot of, like, I bring up a lot of memes, I bring up a lot of history, and I bring up a lot of, like, how the game actually works, at least my understanding of it. That I don't usually do on stream because, like, there's no point in doing so. Like, that enemy pattern that I just had, I'd never seen that before. The one I just got in that run, yeah, I've seen it before. I've had to deal with it. So, if anybody watched the dev video, you would know that the way that their AI is designed is basically taking the second worst possible path. So essentially, like, I knew about that, but not, like, consciously knew, if that makes any sense. I almost failed Mountain Skip, and I did fail it. So since they, like, take the second worst possible path, a lot of times, like, they can take a direct path, but they usually don't. They usually try to avoid you, and it is entirely based on their, like, facing angle. So, for example, the guy was faced completely away from Crash, which means he's going to do a complete 180. So, essentially, like, I move in a way where I can just avoid him out the gate. A lot of times, if they are facing the right side, they will move right or down right. If they are facing down left, they tend to either pivot and go... They either pivot and go down right, or they go down left. The guy, if he's facing right, he will most likely actually try to get in your way. But if he's facing completely away from Crash, he tends to just do a complete 180. However, these are consistent with my movement. This is not necessarily, like, if you do different movements and you're in different positions, since for the any percent muscle memory, I essentially take the same path every time, up to a certain point. I am just capable of calculating in my head exactly what pattern I'm going to get. That's a little bit of useless knowledge for you. True. Like, since he's facing left, he'll go, yeah, in that direction, but he can't even touch me. And that's still a that's still a 123 boat. That's your split background? True. Okay. Getting the long jump there is rare. It happens, though. Okay. That, I almost died. I should be dead. That's pretty slow, but it's fine. I still haven't changed my split background yet, because my split background is supposed to be Virgil with the buff face. Oh wait, no, it's not with the buff face, it's supposed to be Virgil with the BB. Yeah, so it wasn't I wanted to change it from Kiryu to Virgil. And the reason why is very simple. I have been motivated. Ooh. Okay. So there's a good and a bad to this. So the good is that I'm going fast. The bad is that that's dropping early, so I have to get a long jump here. There we go. Always had the default background. That makes sense. I used to have, I don't need sex because RNG fucks me every day. There were 2 reasons why I stopped using that. Ah! So, one of the reasons... Yeah, Dio, what the fuck was that? The game didn't fucking stop me, it just kept going. So, one of the reasons why I changed that was because I was starting to become more social. And I'm like, you know what? While that's really funny to, like, make fun of me being a virgin, I was like, you know what? Pause Fridge is funnier now. So I changed to Pause Fridge. And then, like, I changed to Kiryu because, like, I was starting to just, like, dominate. Yo, thanks for the small stonks. And then after that, I mean, like, I've always, for some reason, Twinsanity has, like, brings in a lot of Middle Eastern people. A lot. And also, I really, really like the emote Habibi. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna fucking put Habibi on Kiryu's head because I thought it would be funny as fuck. You wouldn't say you're Middle Eastern? Fair. You personally prefer huh? Or huh? Yeah. I just like Humbibi because it's like, it just looks funny for him to have like the turban on his head. Speaking of Humbibi, seven TV emotes are great. Yes. Yo, Ali, thanks for the good luck. So, it basically brings me to today, where, like, just before April, I had no motivation to speedrun, and I was very heavily debating quitting. And then, several things happened, and I suddenly got actual motivation. Well, it's not, I guess it was sudden. It was a couple of things. I've talked about it several times, but it was like, I got motivation, and then, like, it was like, okay, so I have motivation now. And it's like, I have Kiryu, which kind of describes, what's it called? I got motivation. Like, Kiryu kind of describes how I go about Twinsanity in general, is just basically, like, barrel through everything. Which is very Kiryu-like. But I think, like, with the added motivation of actually wanting to do better in the game, I think Virgil works perfectly, because he kind of, like, mirrors it, like, I want more power. And motivation. I thought it would add to the meme. But yes, unfortunately, that was the whole shtick behind, that was the literal whole shtick. Even further beyond, yes. That was the whole shtick behind the I don't need sex because RNG fucks me every day. I was making fun of my own virginity. Also, it's just a really funny thing. Yo, AMT. It's pretty peak, yeah. Also, there was a former friend who didn't really like it that much, and also, when Kylie was working on the Twinsanity videos, she had to blur out some of that. What the hell is this cycle? Did I go super slow or something? What's going on here? That's like Hundo cycle. Fuck you. I'm behind the cycle now. By a little bit. And like having to blur out something just for that. Okay. Okay. Chat about that image, yeah. Moist critical. I lost time here, but it's okay. Maldita rata, exacto, exacto. Hijo de la gran puta, okay. What time is it where I live? It is 3:11 p.m., which, by the way, 3:11 is my birthday. March 11th. My birthday just passed 2 months ago. How tight is that platform? Not very. Everything feels smooth. Let's go, dude. I am 3 seconds ahead of my average. That's... ¿Coincidencia? ¿No lo crees? Imagina. Me... I am now pushing an extra slide jump out of that. Thought pushing an extra slide jump out of that would be good. Single jump, slide jump, double jump. There we go. Slide jump. This is nerve-wracking. This isn't that bad. You have to remember, I have this entire place memorized. Okay, that was good movement. I may have saved half a second. I may have saved half a second. I may not have saved half a second. I don't know yet. I did take damage, okay. I am comparing against some of Best, by the way. But just for future reference, there are no runs until I get past top 3. Hub 3 is what matters the most. Also, by the way, I think Virgil matches Twinsanity because apparently I aura farm the fuck out of this game. When I was doing the fucking run in Mexico, a lot of people were saying I was like aura farming, and I'm like, what do you mean by aura farming? I was like, what? I don't really aura farm. I don't feel like I do anyways. But there is one thing, I make this game look very easy, which is unfortunate for anybody that wants to try to learn this game, because the thing is like, everybody who wants to learn this game, watching me, is basically kind of looking at like a master chef, making really good food, like it's nothing. But turns out, like, if you fuck anything up, like the game, or like the fucking food becomes poisonous, you can't eat it. You can also ask Abdo, 1, 2, 3, 4, because I had to teach him a couple, or I didn't have to, but I taught him a couple of things. You're at work, F. Suerte con el trabajo. That was a late load, interesting. I have methods, and my methods tend to work pretty well. But at the same time, like, I am also just generally really good at the game. My methods make everything look really easy to perform. It's not true. It is false. I've worked so hard to the point where I make everything look easy, but it is not easy. SSJ. It is nonsense made up by the West, yeah. It's like trying to turn water into wine because they saw Jesus do it true. SS. I don't really get that, but I mean, I also understand why it's SSJ, because it's Super Saiyajin. Super Saiyajin 3. Instead of, you know, Super Saiyan. Which is weird, because in Japan they say SS. But here, where they say Super Saiyajin, and we just say Super Saiyan. It should be SSY, actually. Okay. You never liked Dragon Ball? You are not a real Latino. That baited me. Thinking they're in the know or clever? Yeah, I would say SSJ. They would play Malcolm in the Middle. Okay. What is bro doing? Fuck. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. I can't go for that slide jump. Okay, at least I know it's gonna work. I'm going for the slide jump. I'm gonna go fast as fuck. Because I need... Oh, come on. Stop it. Okay. So I have good news and bad news. Good news is... we are in Hub 4. The bad news... is I am losing 10 seconds.
Madam Amberly,
So, crybaby Cortex is all grown up. I see you found employment as a barber.
I'm an evil scientist.
A scientist of
Minus 0.4 does not matter.
a little bird.
I will be behind. Unless, like, I will be behind unless this, this fight is really fast. If this fight is really fast, I might save a little bit of time. When it comes to lore, what are you watching? She is the head of the Academy of Evil, which is where Cortex learned how to be evil. Eat some chicken tenders? Eat some chicken tenders. What are they gonna do? Fire you? Baddest on all the land, you can't handle her? Chubby chaser. I should not have said that out loud. We don't judge. However, that did just kind of come out of nowhere. Okay. I thought I failed that. Okay. Alright. So. The dream is still possible. Think about what dying there does there. Yep. Okay. So as long as I get hug skip, and I don't fuck up Antagony, probably we're gonna get a 24 3x.
But we ran out of time.
One's dead. I wasn't feeling that run, to be honest. No Cortex AA? Fuck no. No dimension skip? It's a legacy category. Classic AA is, like, perfect for the category. Also, so interestingly enough, me being, plus 12 off of my sum of best there, when I have, like, at least 15 seconds of time save in Antagony, that probably means that, we might see a 24 2x. If I get a 24 2x, like, I mean, first of all, 24 2x. If I get a 24 3x, the category's dead. If I get a 24 2x, like, I mean, that run is just I don't think anybody's ever beating that. Like, I thought the 24 3x, well, initially I thought 24 4x was gonna be, like, this category's dead. Now I'm starting to think that probably, 24 2x might be my limit. But, the problem with the 24 2x is that everything has to go very well. With a payday company? Uh-oh. I should have died. Should have died again. Back-to-back runs, maybe? That was still a 123 boat, too. Just don't mess up, streamer. As shrimple as that. Is this PB hard to beat for me? No. The only reason why I'm having trouble beating it is because I have trouble getting into Hub 4. I have massive time losses in my PB. There's 15 seconds to save in Antagony. There's 10 seconds to save in, there's 10 seconds to save in Hub 2 because I had a stupid death. There's, there's still, like, 8 seconds-ish to save in AoE skip. Why does this category exist, historically speaking? So, the second iteration of Dimension Skip was too hard for people to pull off. So, the initial version of Dimension Skip was not difficult, because the Cortex that we used, you could spin right through him. Because what you needed to do was you basically needed to use Cortex to stop Crash from finishing a cutscene. But then finishing it on your own before the trigger disappears, or before the scene fully ends. To give Crash a weird state where the hug cutscene will pull him from out of bounds back in bounds. This was not hard to do, because the Cortex we used was from the end of Ice Climb, which for some reason had less collision. But once once Twin Split was introduced, we had to use Cortex from the boat, or not from the boat, from the farm, and this Cortex was completely solid. You couldn't spin through him. So you had to, okay, I'm doing mountain skip fast. Cool. So essentially, because that was way too difficult to do, both tricks were, like, stupid. Since both tricks were stupid, people made no dimension skip as a result of it, because, there were two major issues. One was that Twin Split was hard, like, really fucking hard at the time. It did become easier, but the problem with dimension skip remained. For Cortex out of the farm, or the... I don't know. Like, in the code, they are the exact same. So, we have no explanation for why that's even a thing. So, please don't spam my chat with emotes, thank you. If they change the farm one to make the minigame function, that is a possibility. Because I don't know if you're a bot, and I think you're a bot. If you are not a bot, please react normally, thank you. If you are a bot, keep spamming emotes, you will be banned. Thank you. You never be too careful. So there was one really bad thing, is that if Cortex started doing any of his animations for, while you're doing dimension skip, essentially with the new thing, if you can't react to it, or sometimes it's impossible to react to, you just RNG kills the run. So this category existed for that reason, and also just to show off how good Yere was. Which honestly, I think, like, it should just be named after him anyways. Because of that, but, I mean, that's just my personal opinion. That is the reason why this category existed. The reason why it exists now, and it has, ever since we added Cortex AA, this has a really... This category nowadays has more reason to exist because of Cortex AA. And also, when I found out how to basically dodge the, when I figured out how to do AoE skip on SSD, it essentially meant that this category was, like, actually relevant enough. It essentially, like, brought this category into the modern era. I don't miss when I lost the run to RNG was relevant. I absolutely hate losing runs to RNG. To be fair, you can get shitty RNG in Antagony in this. But, nowadays this is a classic category. It's a legacy category. So, basically, strats that are no longer used are basically, like, put into this category. Is pretty much how it's going to be, treated until there is a reason to change it. I still think old dimension skip should also be a category, because it would be the entry-level category for any percent, because it's short. It's, like, less than 20 minutes long. It pretty much teaches you a lot of what you need to know in order to run the game Because old dimension skip, like how you perform it is you just like before you would clip Cortex into the corridor, but because you could spin through Cortex after the cutscene, you just hold forward and then you spin. Category for non-G Pro players? I mean, no, not really. The thing is that all levels, from what I have noticed, why can't you just play it anyways? I mean, you can. The thing that I have noticed about all levels, which has been classically the entry-level category, is that people say it's too long. And I kind of agree. All levels is really long. Because at the lowest level, all levels can take you up to 2 hours. And like once you reach like beginner level instead of beginning level, like it's still like 120. It's between 130 and 120, and intermediate level reaches like 110 to like 1. Intermediate level is like between 101 and 110. So like that's still a pretty long category, and it takes a while to learn the strats. When am I doing Crash Twinsanity Mobile? No. Ask Pete. Ask Pete about that. Pete would do it. Take you too long? You run, Ratchet, so I honestly don't think that it would take you very long to learn 110. 110 is not very bad. It's not hard for all levels in the modern day. Yo, Wizard Power, thanks for the good luck. You'd like to learn a Ratchet speedrun? They're cool. They are cool. I've heard lots of parallels between Twinsanity and Jack and Ratchet speedrunning. That was weird. Okay. So, to when Stellar dropped in, got all levels world record and dipped. I don't remember that. What version do you have to play on? European. That's just Nails on Halo runs. I don't even think Nails is like that goated. I think Nails is just the starting point for optimization. Because if you look at, say, like, H1 and H2, Nails can't even touch CE runners. CE runners are fucking cracked. And, like, Halo 2 now, like, I don't think Nails compares to Zoo. Then again, nobody compares to Zoo. And I think the other games just have not had somebody that has actually worked to get extremely good at them. Which also kind of sounds like Seclusive for Reach, because Waifu put in the effort and basically took Reach. So I think Nails is just the starting point of optimization for Halo. And don't interact with anyone in the community? He kind of does. Just not with the community at large. See, I have strong opinions about that. Not interacting with the community bit, but I have strong opinions about not streaming your attempts. Because if you're really good, it's hard to it's hard to trust the person if you haven't seen their mistakes. Also, if you don't record your stuff, like, what happens if you had an idea that was, like, undercooked, and then, like, it's just gone? Like, this is a serious thing that I think about, is, like, if you're somebody, especially if you're somebody who does strat finding, and you're, like, you were trying to do some strat, right? But it wasn't streamed, it's not recorded, and it's just gone forever. What if it was actually the strat, and you just stopped right before it? And I've had, like, a couple moments of that, where there's a very lucky thing. One of the strats I use in Cavern, where I do the, like, jump from the respawn, that was something I cooked back in 2016. And the only reason why I even remembered its existence was specifically because I looked at an old recording from my laptop back before I had my PC. It was a recording that was backed up, and I looked at it, and, like, I was like, holy shit, past me cooked. And for some reason, I did not upload it. Which is strange, because I usually upload everything. All of my, like, science, I usually upload, because the thing is you never know when something that you have made is actually good, and you just haven't found the key to make it work. And that is a big reason why I don't like it if somebody doesn't stream or record their stuff. Because it's not just difficult to trust the person. It's also... it is a liability for lost tech. So let me give another example. History 100, which nobody knows about History 100 in Halo speedrunning anymore. He was the, Halo 3 GOAT. He was the Halo 3 GOAT. But he was Japanese. Nobody could communicate with him, so nobody knew the stuff he was cooking. But he was so far ahead of everybody else because he cooked. Offline recording is fine. Unless it's all the time. See, the problem with Nails is that there's no community interaction. It is difficult to gauge how trustworthy he is because the only thing you see are his recorded runs. And this is, like, modern speedrunning. This isn't, like, you know, back in 2010, 2015 when things were difficult to record. This is modern speedrunning. There's no streams. There have never been streams. Strat hunting doesn't get shared, except in DMs. Attempts aren't recorded. So the thing is even though I'm pretty sure he's really good because people have co-opted with him, I am not capable in my, like, actual brain to say that, like, he's legitimate. Because there's something in my brain that is saying, like, I really don't think that this should be allowed. I think there can be solutions for that. Because, like, you know, uploading, you know, like, maybe a 10-hour attempt or something like that, or just seeing that, like, oh, okay, this guy is exactly who he says he is. I think that is a good way to kind of dodge a lot of these issues. Like, I mean, for example, this is a very, here's a counter example. For me, specifically, I stream almost everything. I record almost everything. So when I do runs, there is trust that if I'm doing something offline, you know that I definitely worked for it and I got it. For sure. There's no doubt in anybody's mind. Like when I did when I got the 2453, nobody had a shadow of a doubt that I got that. And anybody that would, you know, you could just check the frame data, I guess. And you'll notice that it's probably not going to show up. Nothing as bad's gonna show up, I think. It's possible because, like, my capture card's fucking weird, but you won't find any actual splices. Except for where the, where it starts and where it ends. I got a proxy there. I could do a slide jump there. I just don't want to. That was a little slower. There is also the lucky thing that Nails is not, like, perfect. So it just creates some weird inconsistencies, and it's also one of the reasons why Nails in Halo speedrunning is, like, people think it's an alt. At least the meme is that.
Looks like we'll have to wring it out of him. Embryo?
It's not true, and Nails is a real person. But I hate that I'm just skeptical about it. Because I know when I bring it up and I talk about this kind of stuff, it's like, I come across as somebody who's like, dude, you shouldn't be so skeptical. You can easily pre-record the VOD and stream it and we won't notice. That's also true. However, counterpoint. While I work really hard on my runs, I'm fucking lazy. I don't even make stream notifications on my fucking Discord. So the counterpoint is like, you know I probably would do it because why the fuck would I put in the effort to do that? You think this guy would pre-record? I do not. Me? I mean, I've done it before for runs, but I've never done it for streams because why the fuck would I? It's too much effort. Dude, by the time you're done... By the time you're fucking done with, like... doing all of that re-recording and shit, splicing certain stuff and whatever, and putting in the effort for that, the only thing you're doing is trying to make yourself look good, but you don't get record. I am fairly confident that the majority of people that would do that, and, like, there's almost nobody that would ever get a record. But it is possible that if you get a second place time, that you could do it. Having to jump through hoops to prove you're a real when you're like that shouldn't have to be too much. That's also true. I think there's like a middle ground that could come about. The way I think the Halo community did it was the mods have co-opted with him. Top players are more likely to cheat than normal players since they know how to avoid getting caught. That is not necessarily true. That is a misconception. Let me explain. So, there is a good chance, and I mean, I'm going to level with everybody. If I wanted to cheat in Crash Twinsanity, I probably could, but I would also get caught immediately. I'm pretty sure. Somebody will notice something's wrong. Because too many people watch me. There are enough people that know the knowledge that I know to be able to figure that shit out. And I'm also lazy. But I do have the knowledge to do that. If I wanted to cheat. It's possible, but not probable. Because, like, I mean, the thing is you have, say, like, you have Smartkin, you have Dio, you have Sloths. It's like, you guys could just literally figure that shit out pretty damn fast. Cheating is also not worth it, yeah. Bro will fuck up the Womp account and get sent to the Shadow Realm immediately. Damn it. Get on the tree! Dude. I'm gonna be, like, hyper-aggressive with this. I don't know how the fuck I got any of that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how the fuck any of that happened. Because even though I failed a bunch of stuff, I'm gonna be about the same as Twinsanity, my favorite Crash game. No, Crash Nitro Kart is. Madame Amberly takes about 2 minutes. So despite the fact that I lost, like, what, almost 10 seconds on this split, I'm gonna still be ahead of my best split time. Dude. Okay. Interesting. You know what? I'm gonna try this. I've never tried this before. Holy shit, this sounds wrong. When do you have shown inputs? I could do hand cam. Use TAS tools, can't do that on Xbox. Emulator would be really obvious, yes. Damn. I missed one. Kaka Cam, yeah. So with all of that AoE issue, with all those AoE issues, I am only 11 seconds in program a Raspberry Pi. I do not know how to program. Yorian. Still well within 24 3x pace, by the way.
Come now as we explore a new dimension! It should have been 2 new dimensions, but we ran out of time.
Oy. You're supposed to study for your final tomorrow, but this is more important. Understandable.
Victor in Moritz's stronghold of evil.
Neat.
This is where we wrong the rights and sweep the past under the rug.
Damn. Aren't one-to-one with the worst torture humans have ever gone through. I will be quite annoyed if this is a 2430, to be honest. Curious how I would get caught if I ever did that. There's ways. Yo, Jet, thanks for the good luck. Do people still, only sustain has ever really done, tool-assisted runs for twins? Where is he going? Okay, goal. Don't suck. Goal is not being achieved right now. This movement sucks balls. Yo, okay, this, that was insane RNG. Cool. Probably the best RNG I've ever had. At least in a run. I've had better RNG, but never in a run, I don't think. Why? Because legacy category. There's no reason to have, Okay, that was scary. This is not the type of category where you would do Cortex Antagony, because this is a legacy category. Honestly, it would defeat the spirit of the category. I'm failing God Cycle. What if someone submitted a run with it? You would know. So, what we have learned is that I can save tons of time with AoE skip. Like, I think I could still save around, like, how much is the difference between my PB and, what I have for best seg for... Oh, hang on. Let me check my average, because my average is gonna probably show a better time. That's like, what, 407 versus 349. Oh, okay, yeah. It would get Swan on the butt, imagine. Trust me, first of all, someone beating my time would be suspicious. Somebody getting close to my time would also be suspicious. Okay, I asked you not to do that. I think you're a bot. If you're not a bot, I apologize. You lost your privileges because, well, rip. So, yeah. Don't worry about it. If you don't know what's going on, don't worry about it. By the way, I'm very surprised that this seems to be a really popular category. Yo, Murmurer, thanks for the good luck. Like, the thing is that, bro got sent to the Shadow Realm, exactly. Like, I have noticed this, and by the way, I'm not looking at YouTube, because YouTube is not as consistent. We cooking? Maybe. Hey, MILFs. And gracias por la suerte. Thanks for the good luck. Contrived, if you're not aware of its origins. Popular amongst whom? I'm going to... So here's the thing. So YouTube is more dodgy, but the thing is that, while running all levels and while running Hundo, my peak viewership, because, like, I do pay attention to my follower, or my viewer count. When yo, Nuggies, let's go. So, I have been noticing that I get, like, I just peaked at 40 viewers. I mean, yeah, I got a raid, but, like, yesterday I was also at, like, 40 viewers, and I'm just like, while I'm very used to, because in many times throughout, like, my streaming history, I have hit, like, low 30s, high 20s as, like, consistent viewership. But doing no dimension skip, for some weird reason, and I don't know why, it just seems to be way more popular. I don't know why. It could be coincidence, too. I mean, like, mind you, a lot of people are going through final exams right now. I could just be streaming in the right place at the right time. 20 viewers on YouTube, but that means that my viewer count is, like, 60. YouTube's hit or miss. Twitch is like a lot more. Oh, talking about finals. How was my final? I really deserve more viewers. I don't know about that. Maybe, maybe not. Streaming is not about what you deserve. Streaming is about what you just get lucky with. And consistency. And I have not been very consistent. I mean, to be fair, yeah, my Russian final was dodgy. And then when I came home, like, there was a swarm of birds that shat on the fucking windshield. So, like, it was like rain, and I'm like, dude, are you serious? But I mean, I'm doing okay. I'm pretty sure I passed the Russian final. Pretty sure I passed the final. But it's like, consistency has been my issue, because the thing is I have been known to kind of swap through games. So, for example, the first time when I started getting a lot of viewership was when I was running Sonic Heroes. Because, like, I was dominant in the category that I was playing, which is pretty normal for me. I streamed, to be fair, that was 2014, I streamed basically every single day. I had nothing to do. I was a shut-in. So, like, I streamed pretty much every day. I was really good at the game. I was reputable, etc. It is A1. A1 with A2 classes. It's passed. 2, not your exams. F. Don't die. The second time was with Crash 2, which was, about the same time. I switched from Sonic Heroes to Crash 2. Then SGDQ happened. And then I stopped streaming. Then I got, like, years later, I got good at Twins. And, like, I was doing these crazy grinds, which was, I think, like, at max, it was, like, 35 viewers. But it was consistently, like, high 20s. And then, once not good at Twins? Oh, I was not. I was pretty mediocre for a while. Then, and then, like, it was dodgy because after I lost my job, I wanted to take a big break. But so that was Christmas of 2023. I was really working hard on Hundo. I worked decently hard on Any %. I just got Any % the week prior. And then I was working on all levels. Right out of the pussy, damn. That's crazy. But then, like, 2024 was when I went to Japan, so I stopped streaming. 2025, I came back, and I was trying to work more on my social life. But towards the end, I was like, I am not finished with Twins. So I got the Any % run of my dreams, and then basically, like, that was probably the peak. That was basically, like, my peak, but that, I mean, I was getting a bunch of raids and stuff. It was like 2 weeks of hell. Where I was basically, like, working on studying while basically, like, doing tons of Any % runs. And then I found the new warp skip. And then I didn't need to care about all the bullshit, and then it pretty much kind of fell into place. And then I just stopped streaming again. You also got the call from the Twins devs. Yes, this is true. Basically, my motivation died, and that's why I wasn't streaming, and I was kind of thinking, like, you know, this is not a bad time to stop. To stop at my peak, where, like, there's basically nowhere to go but down. Conceptually speaking. Like, I know I still can improve and everything, but it was more like I was doing really well. Why don't I do long-form YouTube videos like documentaries, histories? I could. About, like, speedrunning lore. But that's content creator stuff. I'm not a content creator. Not a traditional one anyways. I'm a speedrunner. Like, my actual content is tutorials and glitch videos. I've been doing that for a long time. And I really can't see myself doing anything else. Maybe helping somebody else out with their channel. Sure. I would be fine with that. But my own stuff? I don't think so. Because it doesn't appeal to me. I'm not thinking about growing as a content creator. And I'm not thinking about moving away or anything. It's just that it's interesting to me that right now, right at this very moment, I am running a category I said I didn't want to run for a long time. Where I finally have my motivation to speedrun again. And it's just weird that this is just... which doesn't really build community. That is the YouTube idea. That is the content creator idea. A streamer, like, mind you, YouTube is the side thing for streaming. I don't focus on YouTube. I stream on YouTube because people on YouTube want to watch, not because I want more people to follow me on YouTube. That is a totally different concept. At my heart, I will always be a Twitch streamer. And Twitch streaming is a totally different experience. The ideas of, like, building are completely different. And speedrunning even more so. I'm not thinking about the future of my YouTube channel because, honestly, like, I don't plan on really monetizing my YouTube channel, even though I should. Even though I should, because, like, I mean, adding the, like, getting ad revenue and stuff for my YouTube channel would be kind of nice, especially because, like, some of my videos are still gaining traction, but at the same time, I don't like my content being ad-gated. Which is why the only thing you can do on my channel for YouTube is Super Chat. Because YouTube is supposed to be the side thing. You need to come up with new ideas, Dan. And I kind of hate to say it like that, but I mean, like, I'm not a content creator kind of guy. I don't have the metal to just do actual content creation. Streaming, yes, I can do streaming. Streaming is perfectly fine. I'm used to it. I would be okay if I got big and I was just mostly doing casual stuff on YouTube and moved to Twitch. Those are people who started on YouTube. People who started on Twitch think differently. And it is super hard to grow from only streaming. And mind you, I am a speedrunner at heart. The way you grow as a speedrunner is doing what I'm doing right now. A lot of viewers I get from my reputation as a speedrunner. And by running categories. Because that's what I like to do. I mean, I say this in the nicest way possible. It is low effort content. But not like low effort content as in like, oh, look at this bottom of the barrel stuff. It's like, it's low effort because I can do it and I'm happy to do it. Yeah. I don't want streamer success. Or like content creator success. I would like, if you want me to be fully honest, I would like to have passive streaming income because I have dreams that I want to do. I have somewhere I want to go in my life. And that somewhere does not really involve streaming or speedrunning. Streaming would be, if at best, if I'm trying to make money off of it, passive income. So I have money to, like, mess around with. That's if that happens. And that probably will not happen. Because it's a byproduct of something else, probably. Like, the actual speedrunning aspect of it is not low effort. I put a lot of effort into what I do. And I'm happy to do what I'm doing. I like speedrunning. I like all this stuff, really. Speedrunning, finding glitches. This is what I've done in my free time for a decade and a half. Yeah, I don't do it for the sake of the stream. I do it because I want to. Discipline, it's not discipline. People think it's discipline, but it's not discipline if you actually want to do it. It's like the same with learning language. A lot of people... about other creators talking about me? You mean like Kylie? Because the thing is I'm pretty ignorant as to, like, what people are talking. I would love to watch my stream, but didn't find me. That's fine. I've always been happy with what I got. Because I streamed because I was a lonely teenager who didn't know how to make friends. That is the reason why I started stream. I wanted to make people laugh. Neat. That's a shitty way to lose a second. Oy, oy, oy. Twinsanity World Records. Actually, you would find Joe first. Joe's, hundo. Okay. I don't know why I didn't die there, but okay. Okay, you know what? I should be dead. when people look up Twinsanity speedrunning, they actually find Joe before they find me. Because Joe's runs have like 100,000 views. Algorithm loves Joe's runs. Almost everybody that comes in that's never seen anything modern is going to mention Joe. That's not a bad thing. That's just how it is. And also, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this as like a doomer thing. I am literally just, unfortunately, I am, for better or worse, incapable of not being myself. Like, yes, I have acting skills, but I am incapable of not being myself. I mean, yeah, I act a little different off stream than I do on stream. I'm performing. But, it's always the thing that, like, unfortunately, I can't motivate myself to be an actual content creator. And I've thought about it. But the thing is I just can't motivate myself to do it because I don't see myself actually doing it long term. I can't. Because it's not who I am. I like editing videos. I have fun with that. But at the same time, it's like I want to inform people on certain things, but at the same time, other people do it way better than me. It takes a lot of effort to be able to do all that stuff, and I wouldn't find it very rewarding. Because I can do all of that stuff on stream live. Do I get less viewers for it? Yes. Am I upset about that? No. The reason why I even brought up the viewer count was because I thought it was interesting. It's interesting to me that I am starting to get a peak viewership doing a category that I don't generally do. It wouldn't matter to me if I had 20 viewers right now. No. No. Ah, the run's dead. Who mentioned me as the goated guy? Who would that be? Like, I've noticed for a long while I was getting a huge amount of Middle Eastern people. Opens a new avenue for how to present what you want to say. That's true. Why Hundo doesn't get the most views? Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense that if I'm actually doing any percent, I get a lot of viewers. I'm known for any percent. But this isn't any percent. This is no dimension skip. Maybe people are seeing any percent and they click and then they see, oh, this isn't any percent. This is no dimension skip. Oh, this is kind of interesting. That might be why. I don't really know. Jihad? Interesting. See, the thing is that I know that outside of the speedrunning sphere, I am somewhat known just because of, like, I mean, I get brought up by Brazilians. I get brought up by, I had a lot of people who were Greek coming into my stream at one point. A lot of people whose first language is Arabic now. a lot of, like, so it's any percent but a subcategory? I wouldn't say subcategory, it's legacy category, it's different. Greek person here, yep. See, that's what I was getting at. I had a huge amount of Greek people enter my stream. I do get, Latin American viewers. Outside of Brazilians. You need some people to do the dub for the Crash 3 intro for you with the manual? There you go. Unfortunately, I have not seen most of the Greek viewers. It seems that they have moved on to other things. And probably have forgotten my existence. Latin American viewers, I always get Latin American viewers, but to be fair, I speak Spanish. So, and a lot of people still, like, don't know I speak Spanish, which is hilarious. I know there was a big Latin American creator that, watched one of my runs. Should you hunt them down? You can. For Pete? Sure. Pete making business in my chat? This is crazy. I mean, I don't care. This is just fucking funny. I should have died. I did die. Pete dogging for VAs in my chat. Exactly! I mean, I don't blame him. I respect the hustle, but this, you can't say this is not fucking funny. You cannot say that this isn't funny as fuck. Few viewers outside of Finland. I do get Finnish people, but I never really notice. It's hard to notice, like, people from that area of Europe. Nutskip isn't as bad. Okay, so the reason why Nutskip is bad is because I'm going fast. You knew more than one language, you would love to do those? I mean, you can always try. But yeah, Nutskip is not difficult. It's just if you go fast, Nutskip is hard. If you go slow, Nutskip is extremely easy. Outside of getting it up there. Tell him to react, to do 100% react. He's probably not going to. I commented on one of the videos, and I commented on one of them, and I said, like, you know, thank you for that, and he didn't even give a shit. Makes sense. You're better at English than Arabic? Depends. So, there is a second language thing, and you have to bear in mind, as a first language, when you learn your first language, you are copying the things that happen around you. This does not mean that you are incapable of utilizing the language correctly, but you have a specific way of utilizing your own language that is different from the norm. That's very normal. That is extremely normal. When you learn a second language, there's two kinds of things that happen unless you're a savant. If you're a savant, this is different. But, one thing is that for syntax, for greater syntax in your main language, and also for just syntax in general in your second language, you use the mathematical side of your brain. Which means you learn the rules by scratch. By scratch. Wait. I'm saying this wrong. I'm noticing I'm saying this wrong. From scratch. Okay, there we go. ESL moment, except I'm not ESL. So essentially, like, what's going on is that because you learn the language from scratch, and you basically have to learn the formal part of the language, if you get good at it, you will eventually speak the language better than your native language. Unless you're already very good at your native language. And this also doesn't mean that you're actually bad at speaking your language. You're bad at speaking the formal language. Those are two totally different concepts. Now, unfortunately for me, I am not very good at formal language in general. But, like for Spanish, I do speak kind of a weird mix of formal and informal Spanish. Finnish is your native language. Finnish is fucked. So, I mean, there's nobody who is good at Finnish. Finnish is a language that's fucking impossible to be good at. How often do I think in other languages? So, the interesting thing is that, I mean, most of the time I think in... Most of the time, I think in English still. But if I'm speaking Spanish, I think almost entirely in Spanish. If I'm speaking in Japanese, I'm thinking mostly in Japanese. But I don't have a clear enough grasp of the language to always think in the language. But if there's, like, if I'm in a state where I don't have my guard up, or if I'm by myself, it depends on how tired I am. If I'm tired, the other languages will come out, and I will think in those languages. Yo, Rexion. So it really depends, though. I mean, like, the reason why I mostly think in English is just because I'm exposed to English. And it is just more efficient for me to think in English, but I don't have any problems thinking in Spanish. And there are times where I think more in Spanish than I do in English. It just depends. It depends on how much I'm surrounded by the language, and if I'm using it. Even if I'm surrounded by it, I still will think in English if I'm using mostly English. When I'm dreaming, it depends. And when I wake up, it depends on how my brain is when I wake up, but sometimes when I wake up, it is a mixture. And I don't think in Russian or Italian, by the way. I have not acquired any of these. Do I Turkish? I do not know any Turkish. Like, Italian and Russian, I have no acquisition of these languages, so I don't think in them. It is literally impossible for me to think in them. I know no Turkish. Sion! So, I will, how much poetry or prose do I read? I used to read poetry. I used to write poetry. By English when you're on your PC so you can remember words in English but not finish. Exactly. Like, when I am surrounded more by Spanish, I will think more in Spanish than I will in English. You think romantically, you only think about those things in Spanish. There are certain concepts that are just nearly impossible or impossible to think in your native language. There are also concepts where you don't, like, But gas prices went up, yep. So, let me, but I think mostly in English. There are concepts, for example, that, I only think about in Japanese, and there are concepts where I only think about in Spanish, because they just don't make sense in English. Because languages are not one-to-one. And they do affect your brain, by the way. Like, certain things really affect how you think and feel. You don't want to study for your physics midterm? F. So, I will give an interesting example. Japanese has affected my brain in a way where I think in a lot more organization and, collectivism. So, I get annoyed when people act out. It happened more when I came back from Japan. Spanish has affected my mind by not giving a shit. I do not learn Turkish, no. Japanese, yes. I speak Japanese. 少しだけで、少しだけけど、日本語を話せます。ちょっと話せます。ペラペラじゃないけど。はい。That's slow. Such a weird language. Everyone sounds like a different person when they speak Japanese versus English. A lot of people get weirded out when I speak a different language. Because my voice changes a lot. But like, for example, the thing that's really interesting is that when I was in Japan and, the Taiwanese exchange students heard me speak Spanish for the very first time, they were like, holy shit, he sounds like a different person. Which they never felt like that when I spoke English, though I think they said I sounded wrong when I spoke English. Because I pretty much only spoke to them in Japanese. Yeah, a lot of people change their voices, but not exactly the language. He refined his speech to teach, yeah. You have less shyness when you're talking in English. That happens to me in Spanish. I am a lot less shy speaking in Spanish, and I am a lot funnier. I'm more serious when I speak in English than when I speak in Spanish. However, my jokes are better when I speak in English. Asked you to speak English, and they were like, wow, his voice. Pero es que, a ver, superior. ¿Cómo te parece mi voz en español versus mi voz en inglés? Obviamente es diferente, pero según tu opinión. ¿Qué dirías? English sounds way calmer. That is interesting. Привет. Привет, как дела? Я не понимаю русский язык. Я учусь русский язык. Блять. Do I speak Arabic? I do not. Español. ¿Cómo es? Español este. Joder. But English sounds very chill, but in Spanish, no. But in Spanish, I don't sound chill. Interesting. Bro is popular, imagine. But I sound pretty natural in Spanish. So there's an interesting thing, by the way, that I've noticed, is that when I speak in Spanish, I'm actually using my natural voice. Sounds forced. I mean, of course it's gonna sound forced. I'm a second language speaker. But yes, Spanish, I actually use my natural, I use my natural speaking tone, which I generally do not use my natural speaking tone when I am, speaking. That's actually, I've learned that many languages. I speak Spanish, English, and Japanese, and I have, I'm studying Russian, but I don't speak it very well. I don't know Russian. Neo Trouble. Thanks for the good luck. So say thank you in Russian. Spasiba. Spasiba. There we go. What's the next language? I'm working on Russian right now. I don't know how much I can focus on Russian yet. I might take it next semester because I'm doing an extra semester. But in case anybody is, like, interested, my actual speaking tone is like this. And usually when I'm talking to my mom, I talk like this. Speak quite good, melodic. Thank you. But this is my actual, like, normal speaking tone. This is the kind of voice I use when I talk to my parents. Usually. And this is actually this is the base of my voice when I speak in Spanish. But usually when I'm speaking in English, do I think Russian is similar to Ukrainian? It is, but it's basically like saying Spanish is similar to Portuguese. Two types of voices. Now, the interesting thing is that most people would think that how I speak to my parents is how I think, and that's not true. Actually, it's the other way around. How I'm speaking right now is like my actual, like, this is how I naturally think and speak. This voice isn't contrived. You think of a deep pirate voice? Pretty neutral. My accent is literally the most neutral if you consider if you consider neutral like news anchor voice, then yes. I have the most neutral accent because the news anchor accent is my accent. They based it off of an older version of my accent. I have loans because I also speak in, I speak other languages. And also, like, I have friends from other regions, so I've picked up certain speech habits that aren't, like, native to the Midwest. I am very behind the cycle, and I died. Think of Russian, you think of an accent similar to Portuguese. So, interestingly enough, you would like to learn some old languages from Mexico, like Nahuatl. Nahuatl. So the reason why you would think of Portuguese, or Portuguese, when you hear Russian is because of, Russian has consonant cluttering. And Portuguese does that. They skip vowels. Brazilian Portuguese doesn't do that. Brazilian Portuguese, is closer to Spanish. But Portuguese does the, studies Nahuatl. Yeah, Nahuatl is pretty cool. Significantly different from Russian. Yeah, Russians can't understand it. Ukrainians usually can. But I mean, for example, I can't understand Portuguese. I can understand Brazilian Portuguese if I listen to it. That's because I speak Spanish. But also, Russian is a conlang. It was a constructed language that was, made to kind of, like... It was a conlang to basically, like, I think unite the dialects, the Slavic languages, the Slavic dialects at the time. So basically, like, Russian is totally different from the rest of the Slavic languages, but it is essentially kind of like a binder. Think German, but worse. But also because of that, like, Russian has, like, really weird, traits. Ukrainian has a lot of Polish loanwords with Russian adjacent phonology, yeah. Never learned Belarus language? Okay. I will bear that in mind, I think. You should learn Old Norse. Usually that happens when a dialect is high prestige lingua franca, yeah. English is not a constructed language, and there's no construction in language. But the thing is that what English does have is it has absorbed a lot of things from different languages, because that is essentially how English was created. Started out with the Angles and the Frisians, and they kind of meshed together, then the Angles and the West Saxons, and then, the Anglo-Saxons and the Normans. And then also there were lots of loans that happened as a result of Shakespeare. Shakespeare took a lot of Romance, idioms as a language guy, what is my favorite word? I have favorite words in, English and Spanish. I don't really have, like, an overall favorite word. One of my favorite English words is amalgamation, and I even said it earlier today. In Spanish, it's el topo, which means mole. In Japanese, I don't know. I don't know what my favorite word is in Japanese. I never really thought that much about it. A lot of people try to frame it as too simple. It is very simple, except at the most complex level is moron. It is a... Okay, so, by the way, we have this meme in English, or in America, which I don't think is used anymore. But, because of the way things... No, Habibi in top 5, F. Because of, like, because of TV, some people started saying moron as maroon, and, coincidence as coinky dink. However, there is a word, and this does exist in Spanish, too. Discombobulate. Discombobulate is an actual word. I learned that last year, that discombobulate was an actual word and not a fucking, like... And not, like, just some made-up word. I thought that was fucking funny. That, like, hang on a second. That word, it sounds like a word that... It sounds like it's not a real word. But it is a word. And the best part is that it's, like, fucking... The best part is that it's fucking, distract, target, discombobulate. Exactly. So, indubitably, you also like indubitably with a deep English accent, imagine. Indubitably is a word. I don't use it. I use undoubtedly instead of indubitably. What does indubitably mean? Indubitably means, like, it is incapable of being doubted. So, an easier word for that would be undoubtedly. It comes from the word to doubt. But it has a different connotation because it is trying to use dubitable, which isn't a word, as far as I'm aware. Which would mean capability of being doubted. So then you would have in, which is a prefix that can mean not, and then you have the suffix. You have the suffix ly, indubitably. I mean, I'm not, like, a wordsmith, exactly. Vocabulary is not my thing. That is not, that's not, like, my, actual forte, because I am more into sociolinguistics. Utterly confused, disoriented, or fuddled. Interesting. Maybe I guess I was wrong. Do I care? No. Like I said, vocabulary has never been my forte. My, flammable and inflammable, yep, meaning the exact same thing. Might hang up the towel. I think I'm gonna give it another 10 attempts. And then I'll raid out, and we can do more runs tomorrow, I guess. I am a little tired. Mind you, I also did my Russian final exam today. Try body slamming off of the cliff? I don't know if I want to do that. It is way faster to just reset. And also, it seems Nutskip just does not want to cooperate. It's calling an amalgamation, imagine. Yeah, Nutskip just doesn't want to work today. I also did not sleep very well last night, just because I was up late. I went to bed at like 12:30. Last night, and then I had to wake up at... Well, I woke up at 6. I was supposed to wake up at 5:30, but I decided to wake up at 6 because, like, when I was done with what I was doing, I needed food. So I needed to eat, and then basically, like, sleep, and then it's like, oh yeah, I have a final. My Italian final. I don't know if I'm gonna stream Wednesday. I'm not gonna lie. It's almost never used in English-speaking countries. What do I study for? Because I want to. I have some Russian friends, like Smartkin and Neo Kesha. And, I did start learning Russian. I started trying to learn Russian 10 years ago, and I gave up. And I decided I wanted to try it, and I kind of like it. I speak Japanese and I speak Spanish. Your sleep schedule's fucked because of college. Makes sense. Yeah. Unfortunately, Wednesday, I'm gonna be probably cranky because I had to wake up at 3 in the morning. And, that's not gonna be very fun. Also, when did I have a Russian following? I just realized this. I should have fallen off. I should have fallen off. Whoa! Aw, damn it. I just realized that, like... Russians actually know who I am? What? Since when? But yeah, once Wednesday is done, that's it, man. Like, once Wednesday is done, finals are over, and then I can just, like, I can chill. I will have a regular sleep schedule. I will also make a regular streaming schedule. I'm gonna do a lot more things. I'm gonna make sure, like... Plus, I won't be waking up at fucking 4 in the morning, so I can actually stay up late, so I can actually fucking do shit with people instead of having to go to bed when everybody's awake. It's been frustrating that, like, I go to bed earlier than everybody else. And the thing is I wake up tired because I just can't wake up at 4 in the morning anymore. I'm too old. Which most people say, like, dude, it's backwards. It's like, no, I'm too old to not sleep. I need more sleep. Fucking work rotations, man. I'm scared of those. Luckily, I want to go into teaching, so... I'm glad Nutskip is starting to fucking listen again. Yeah, that does sound like hell. You need your 8 hours? Yeah, I get like 5 to 6 hours of sleep. You shouldn't sleep on having a good sleep schedule. Yo, Axel, you're kind of just in time for me to kind of not. You're basically at the tail end of attempts. It's possible that I'm gonna, PB still, but I don't think so. My last attempt is gonna be attempt 1100. Yeah, I don't sleep very well. I have been, on weekends, I have been getting like 7 to 8 hours of sleep. But on weekdays, bad. Because I have to wake up at like 4 in the morning. Okay, I'm like... I lost a second. I almost died. Okay. Doesn't matter. We ball. Okay. Okay. I don't know how that happened. Tomorrow I'll probably be streaming at tomorrow I'll probably be streaming, yeah, let's hope so, Pete. We go, oh, for the first time in forever, yep. 12 hours. Yeah, I can't work for 12 hours straight. Before you head to the military for 6 months, understandable. Where was that guy going? Scared of employment? We all are. I am less scared of career employment than I am employment. Because the thing is like, I am learning to... I'm literally, like, learning things for, like, for my career. But I'm learning things for my career, but the thing is the career doesn't fucking matter. Or, well, I mean, it does. But the thing is that, like, I'm scared of actually doing employment because I was employed, but not career employed. But the reason is because of, because I have fibromyalgia. Like, if I didn't have that, jobs wouldn't scare me at all. Because the thing is like, employers now know what fibromyalgia is. So if you say it, they can just not hire you. Say like, oh, you were overqualified or this shit or that shit. Because they don't want to deal with somebody with a chronic illness. But then, it's like, if you don't say anything, it's not their fault if you get injured. It's really stupid. Workers do not really have rights in the United States. We like to say we do, we really don't. Like, here's the thing. One of my mom's co-workers has cancer. And you know what? She has cancer. I mean, it's treatable cancer, sure. But she has cancer. And you know how her workplace is treating it? You don't have any sick days. We can't pay you. She has fucking cancer. And it's a school system, so they can't sue. You can't sue the schools. So they can get away with that shit. And it's like, education is that, and they're supposed to be the fucking standard. And like, the thing is that for illnesses like that, skill issue, get good, yeah. Like, employers have every right and reason to fire you. How much does unionization change in the US? She is part of the union. You just quit after, like, 15 years? I think she's worked in the schools for, like, 15 years. Well, like, because of stuff like that, I'm terrified, because there was a time where I was sick for a whole fucking month and I couldn't work, and I got fired. And there's absolutely nothing I can do. There is absolutely nothing I can do to, like, protect myself against an employer. I can't see. So, and so, like, the thing is like, you can only get, like, 2 weeks of vacation per year, or sick days per year. It's only 2 weeks, I think, and you have to have a doctor's note, or something. Otherwise, it's just, like, it's just treated as, like, oh, you just skipped work. That's not a fair comparison, no. Like, I know a lot of places in Europe, for example, like, they would have respect. No. There's a reason why there's a massive job crisis in the United States. like, they are going backwards. They're going backwards on a lot of stuff. As things are becoming more and more corporate. Which is unfortunate, because a lot of people, and this is not being political, by the way. I don't want this to turn into politics. People blame it on capitalism. In reality, it's a culture shift. It is a social issue. Because Americans don't fucking care. We work like a... So don't move the U.S. for work. Exactly. Don't do that. Yeah, like I said, don't turn this into politics. When we bring up the president, it turns into politics. Let's not go into that. But it is absolutely a culture shift that has been happening. More and more. Because people are getting complacent. And, like, though the jobs, the people that are running the jobs don't give a shit. It's really sad. And a lot of people blame it on the system, and a lot of people blame it on this and that. It's actually a systematic and social issue than it is anything else. Because, like, here's the thing. There's a reason why the French have, like, outside of a couple of things, the French have good shit. You don't piss off the French. Because what are the French gonna do? They will literally fucking kill you. They don't care. I'm not saying that we should go that far, but... Alright, good night, take it easy. But, at the same time, it's like... Those are the lengths that the French go to keep what they have. They've always done that. Because they've had to. And here in the United States, we just don't care. It's really sad. Like, essentially, I don't talk about this very often. I have a theory as to why this is a thing, but I am not a very educated person. I grew up in a very poor area. The education in my area was very behind even the national average of the United States. Because of systematic oppression. And, like, it's, like, you basically take people that come from where I come from, and it's like, these people are doomed to fail. And they don't even understand that their problem is that they're being forced into a place that they should not be forced into. They don't understand that you can't just leave. And it's really sad. And the thing is like, a lot of people are complacent. And there's a lot of people, like, say, a lot of my friends have said the only way out is to leave. And I'm one of those people. That where I grew up, even though I'm still close to it, despite the fact that I moved, I drive, like, over 100 kilometers every day when I go to uni. Because I want a good education. And a lot of people don't think they have that option. And they don't realize they have the option. And when people don't realize that you could do something, you can't fight it. And it grows out of control. Ignorance is very scary. And it is weaponized. That's the thing that kind of sucks. And this works very well in politics, by the way. This works very well in basically any situation. Ignorance is weaponized. It always is. That's kind of scary. And unfortunately, a lot of it kind of, like, things secretly get taken away. And then a lot of the people that deserve good stuff, which I'm not saying I deserve it, right? But at the same time, as somebody who is technically disabled, I have basically no workers' rights. I can't fight for a job. So it's like, it's kind of scary. Now, for a career, this is not an issue, by the way. Like, if I'm, like, going into teaching, none of this matters. People in Western countries don't really do anything about the ills being done, yeah. This run's dead, by the way. Okay. But yeah, that's just like one of those things. I'm too tired to keep doing runs. This is also why I talk about things and try to make sure people are not ignorant when they, when things happen. Because one, I really don't want people to start fighting in my chat. I think that's really stupid. But also, the other thing is I generally, like, as somebody who grew up very poor, very ignorant, about a lot of things, people need to not be ignorant, basically. When you drive 2 hours, right, for uni knowing that education is horrible? Yeah. Okay, you guys can go to Lorno. Exactly the reasons why you never immigrate to the US. You can't imagine the medical system? Yeah, exactly. Okay, bye-bye.